Today, the video that I posted on here was different to the video that I posted on TikTok. In the voiceover on TikTok, I mentioned that I would be taking a break from content creation, and I didn't say it on here because I don't think I'll be leaving the space, but I guess whatever happens after these videos will determine if I stay on here or not. And the reason for me taking a break on that platform is that for months now, I have watched a very, very popular content creator use my ideas. And again, I'm not the first person to do anything. They have continuously used my ideas to get views. Now, that would be fine, except in South Africa, we don't get paid for views. And where she is, they get paid for views. So she has been making money off stealing my content. I always managed to change the videos just enough so that I cannot say that they are my ideas. And when I took a break from content creation recently, she then went and moved on to my YouTube and started using ideas from my YouTube. So I have kept quiet for months at a time, just venting to my boyfriend and to my friends, and they've all told me, just let it go because you are going to be dragged by her mob of followers and you'll get cancelled. And so I've kept quiet. And recently I made a boba tea. We all saw it, we all loved it, and I was so very, 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 very proud of that video. I tweeted about it, I was so excited for it, and then a day later she made a boba video. And you might say it may be a coincidence. That would be fine if it was a coincidence, except it's a coincidence that happens very often. So is it really a coincidence? I am very disheartened. I am very disheartened because she's making thousands of dollars in views, and I am lucky to get a brand collaboration every 3 months. What is undoubtedly one of the most important packages that I will ever open. Oh my god.
I present to you my wife's first cookbook, homemade by Nara Aziza Smith. At the back. Wow. So, my wife has been writing this cookbook for 2 years.
Got it. I'll tell him.
You sure?
Yep.
Hey tea sippers, welcome back. It's been long. So let's talk about the TikToker Nara Smith. Nara Smith is the TikTok colonizer. So I think we all know who Nara Smith is by now. Onezwa Mbola, if I'm pronouncing it right, is a South African lady that organically grows her food. So she is basically a farmer. She cooks these wonderful, healthy, like amazing recipes. Like Onezwa Mbola is like living like the dream life that most of us can't live because we live in the cities where we can't even grow food, or we're working these very demanding jobs and you can't grow food, right? So Nara rose to fame outside of her modeling through these from scratch videos where she's wearing these expensive outfits, these fancy outfits, face full of makeup. These women, I just want to start by saying Nara Smith and Onezwa are both beautiful women who are doing well individually. But the problem started when Nara Smith would copy every recipe that Onezwa did and never even credited her, not even once. So Onezwa has always said that she's not the first person to make, like, for example, boba tea. But why is it that every time I make a particular recipe, you have to make the recipe and copy it as is? It seems as if you want like credit for my idea. So for those that are not familiar with content creation, is the fact that coming up with a creative idea, whether you're cooking, whether it's music, whether it's entertainment, coming up with a concept is creativity, and creativity is very hard. So a lot of people were gaslighting Onezwa and running with Nara Smith because why? Because Nara Smith is a half white woman and she's American. So because we live in a white supremacist society, a white woman is more believable than a black woman. And an American, okay, Nara is German, but she lives in America. So for the context of this video, she is American. So because of our white supremacist ideology, we view American people as more valuable than African people. Also, how the media portrays Africa is also like very poor, right? So even a lot of South Africans were on Onezwa and Mbola's side. Like we can see that Nara Smith is copying, and Onezwa is not the only creator. Nara Smith is a TikTok colonizer. Like she steals from other creators and doesn't like even credit them. Right? So number one, it's the racial dynamics that as Black Africans we are very much undermined. Because tell me why Africa is the second biggest continent after Asia, if I'm not mistaken. We have over 50 countries, but none of these countries are getting paid. Africans are contributing a lot towards TikTok, but we are not getting paid. Why? Because these apps are owned by white supremacists, like xenophobic people who only see value in certain markets. And I once did some research, and it was a thing of apparently in terms of like brands, not a lot of brands are looking for African market. And at first it kind of seemed right, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense though. Africa has so many international brands. So African creators are only good. So as Africans, we're only good enough to buy your European brands, to buy your American brands. But our creators are not good enough to get brand deals. Even that, it's just a whole lot of racism, xenophobia that I do not stand for. And you know what? As Black women, honestly, when it comes to these creative spaces, a lot of Black women contribute a lot in these creative spaces. And obviously, a white colonizer like Nara Smith will come along and steal your ideas. And you know what? Black women, for those of us who are creators, I'm telling you right now, we need to call out these colonizers, these online colonizers. Because a lot, and this is just like globally, even outside of race dynamics, Shein, what has been stealing from small creators, we need to call it out. Because being a creative is very difficult. You have to think to yourself like, okay, is this gonna do well? I'm just a small-time YouTuber and I'm just a small-time TikToker. But hey, like coming up with ideas is hard. Editing content is hard. Getting the perfect angle. So for somebody to just literally copy you in terms of everything that you do. So Nara Smith ended up, so apparently Onezwa Mbola announced her cookbook, and out of the blue, Nara Smith is now announcing a cookbook. It's very much clear that Nara Smith is still studying Onezwa's moves, and she knows that she has the right race. She is in the right country. Americans get paid. So she knows that people are most likely not gonna, although they know that she's a TikTok colonizer, but people are not going to call her out or not support her. It's actually like really sad. You know what? If God ever blesses me, I want to come up with an African social media that is going to be monetized. I actually would love something like that.